on tonight to a familiar passage of Scripture again, the book of Joshua, chapter 6. I invite you to the familiar story found in the book of Joshua, chapter 6. We will commence in verse 12. Amen. And I see that we're standing. Those who are able to stand, we thank God. I ask that you would stand as we reverence His word. Those who are able to stand, and we will commence in the 12th verse of the 6th chapter of Joshua. And it reads this way from the English Standard Version. It says, Then Joshua rose early in the morning, and the priests took up the ark of the Lord. And 7 priests bearing the 7 trumpets of ram's horns before the ark of the Lord walked on, and they blew the trumpets continually. The armed men were walking before them. The rear guard was walking after the ark of the Lord, while the trumpets blew continually. And the second day they marched around the city once, and returned into the camp. So they did for 6 days. And on the 7th day they rose early at the dawn of day, marched around the city in the same manner 7 times. It was only on that day that they marched around the city 7 times. And at the 7th time, when the priests had blown the trumpets, Joshua said to the people, Shout, for the Lord has given you the city. Amen. And on tonight, with your prayers and the guidance of the Holy Spirit, I want to preach trusting God with what happens next. Trusting God with what happens next. In the year 2013, a South African caravan of onlookers witnessed something unexpected and incredible. Something unbelievable to many were it not for the video footage that captured the amazing episode. There was a group of ladies who had enjoyed the day at the wildlife park when suddenly they noticed that an impala was running for its life as 2 hungry cheetahs chased it with a ferocious appetite and at a frightening speed. The impala escaped the cheetahs, to their surprise, by jumping into their vehicle. In the video, you can see 2 hungry cheetahs chasing with a ferocious appetite and frightening speed an impala that decides that in order to find safety, it had to jump into an unfamiliar place.
Talk.
The impala didn't know what would happen when it leaped into the vehicle with human strangers sitting inside, but it made the decision in that moment to trust that the people inside the vehicle provided a safer environment compared to the open space occupied by the cheetahs. And so an impala being chased by cheetahs decided that it was better to leap into an unfamiliar place and hope for safety than remain in a familiar place outside and unsafe. And faith is likewise like that, church. Because faith demands the same mindset. Because the believer, you and I, if we're not careful and if we're honest, we have to get to the place where we find ourselves in situations that are overwhelming, and we have to still decide that trusting God is better than any other alternative. I said there are going to be situations and circumstances in our lives where we're going to find out that we are going to have to trust God sometimes, not knowing what will happen next.
My.
And so when the believer encounters moments of great challenge without having a clear resolution or sense of direction, it is better to risk everything depending on God than to attempt anything independently of God. Because the Bible gives us a myriad of examples where people had to learn how to trust God with whatever was going to happen next. I reminded us last night that Naaman was instructed to take a mud bath in order to be clean. A widow in the Bible was instructed to ask her neighbors for empty jars when she was in desperate need of oil. The Bible says that the prophet told her not to go ask for oil, but to go ask for empty jars. And she had to trust that God would take care of what happened next.
Talk.
Abraham, you remember, had prayed for a son. He and his wife had prayed for years, and God had finally blessed Abraham and Sarah with a son. And then all of a sudden, he was instructed to go and sacrifice the very son he had prayed for. And he found himself walking up Mount Moriah having to trust in what would happen next. Because you remember, I think the Holy Ghost, that the son even asked, Isaac asked, he said, Father, I see the wood, I see all the supplies, but where is the lamb for the sacrifice?
Yes, sir.
And Abraham had to tell him, son, we will go worship, and then we will return. Because Abraham had developed faith that he was enabled by his faith to trust God with what was going to happen next. You remember the disciples had to decide to let down their nets after they had been fishing all night long. And those of you know that when you go fishing, they had been fishing all night long. It was now dawn, it was daytime, and Jesus commanded them at the most inopportune time of fishing to let their nets down one more time. And so the disciples had to decide whether or not they were going to trust God with what happened next. And then I like this one. There was a blind man, and he was instructed by Jesus himself, still blind, to walk to the pool of Siloam. And it was only after he walked blind to the pool that he experienced his recovery of sight. And so on many occasions, in each case, the person in need of a blessing had to forsake all previously held assumptions and let go of all their anxieties in order to experience the power of God in this situation. And so all I've come to say tonight is sometimes and oftentimes God is waiting on you and I to let go of what we think we know about Him so that He can show us what He's capable of. God is often waiting on you and I to let go and take our hands off our assumptions of what He will do, so that He can demonstrate just how much power He really has. And so we can trust God, watch this, to achieve whatever is necessary to bring Him glory in our circumstances. I'm going to say that again. I said you and I can trust God to achieve whatever is necessary to bring His name glory, whatever our circumstances. That means regardless of how big your problem is, regardless of how deep you are in the water, regardless of how bleak it looks and how bad it looks and how chaotic it has been, God can always get glory out of your circumstances. And so the question isn't, is God capable? The question is, will you and I trust? The question isn't, can He do it? The question is, can you and I believe it?
Wow.
Thank you, Holy Ghost, because you remember there was a father with a sick son.
Yes, sir.
And the Bible says that the son was so sick, the daddy brought the son to the disciples, and they had no power to heal.
Yes, sir.
And so he shows up and confronts Jesus himself and says, Jesus, I brought my boy to your disciples.
Yes, sir.
You're going to help me tonight, huh?
Yeah.
He said, I brought him to your disciples. All the men you've been training the last 3 years, I brought him to them, and they could do nothing with him. What do you have to say? Is there anything you can do? And Jesus said, it's not if I can do anything. It's a question of, can you believe?
Yes, sir.
He said, it's not a matter of what I'm capable of, it's what kind of faith do you have.
Yeah, that's right.
You remember the man who was stuck by the pool 38 years? You remember him, don't you? And he kept complaining and talking about how folk had been stepping over him for 38 years. Now you spend 38 years anywhere, and you don't get done what you're trying to get done, there's a problem. Because if you can spend 38 years in the same position, notice when you go back and read that story, Jesus told him, he said, do you want to be made well?
My.
Jesus didn't ask him, have you tried to get in the pool? He didn't ask him how many people stepped over. He said, do you want to be made well? Because some of us get comfortable by the pool.
Talk.
Some of us get comfortable and content and complacent in captivity. Because we find out that if I can just lay there a little while longer, I can keep getting what folk decide they want to give me, and I don't have to take responsibility for my own situation. See how some of us act like that?
Talk, man.
Because some, maybe not you, but somebody you know, they're comfortable where they are. And they don't want to go any further than where they are in their lives right now. So they're stuck by the pool. But Jesus comes by to say, do you want to be made well? Do you want to be made whole? Do you want to change to occur in your life? And so you and I have to trust God with whatever is going to happen next. Even if you don't know what's coming, if you're unsure, we have to trust God with what happens next. And so we can trust that God will always achieve whatever is necessary to bring his name glory in our circumstances. That's why the psalmist said, our fathers, when they were in Egypt, they did not consider your wondrous works. They did not remember the abundance of your steadfast love, but rebelled by the sea, at the Red Sea, and yet God saved them, watch this, for his name's sake, that he might make known his mighty power. The psalmist is remembering that God, in spite of Israel's lack of faith, he opened the Red Sea and allowed them to walk across on dry land. Because sometimes you and I, we have to admit God does some things for his name's sake.
Namesake.
Anybody ever had God deliver you out of something for his name's sake? You knew it had nothing to do with your goodness, your integrity, your good behavior. It was all for his name's sake. Because you had lost, you had already messed it up. You had chosen to go down the wrong path, made the wrong choice. And yet God, for his name's sake, was gracious and merciful. Anybody here glad that God is a gracious God? Don't fool me now. Anybody here glad that God is a merciful God? And when you and we have fallen short, the Lord still decides to be gracious. Still decides to wake you and I up in the morning. Still puts you and I in our right mind. Still allows you to walk into a walk-in closet and choose what outfit you're going to wear. Choose what shoes you're going to match with the outfit. Turn on hot water that's hot and turn on cold water that's cold. Allows you to know that it's Tuesday and not Saturday. Anybody ever take God for granted? And I'm here to remind you, don't ever take God for granted, because he's gracious and merciful, but he doesn't have to be. And so God will accomplish whatever is necessary to bring his name glory. And so when you and I look at this book of Joshua, you find out that there's a sovereign promise at work. Because the Bible says in Deuteronomy, he said, see, I've set before you today, this is Moses talking, life and good, death and evil. If you obey my commandments and love the Lord your God and walk in his ways, keep his commandments, observe his statutes, then watch this, you will live and multiply. The Lord will bless you in the land you are entering to take possession of. That's what Moses told him. He said, but if you don't, then there will be consequences. So there was a promise at work. Joshua is living off the promise that had already been given to his predecessor. And I wonder if anybody here is glad that you and I are living off the promise that did not begin with you and I. Somebody here knows that somebody else prayed for you, that your mother and father, your grandfather, your grandparents, your big mama, your aunts, your uncles, they prayed for you when you didn't have sense enough to do it. So the promises of God have been operative in your life long before you were aware.
Yes, sir. That's right.
But then there's a partnership as well. Because in the book of Joshua, there's a surprising partnership that I'll come back to later on. Because in the Bible it says in Joshua 2 that the king of Jericho found out that there were spies in the land who were scoping out. There was a reconnaissance effort. They were observing what they were about to take possession of. And so the Bible says that once the king of Jericho got word, he sent his men out to apprehend the Israelite spies. And the Bible says that they showed up at Rahab's house.
Yes, sir.
And the Bible says that they showed up and told her, bring out the men who have come to your house, for they've come to search out our land. But the Bible says the woman had put the two men and hid them.
She hid them. That's right.
And she looked at them and said, you are right. There have been two men. They came by. Don't know where they came from. But when the gate was about to be closed at dark, the men took off. I don't know where they went, but here's what she said. Pursue them quickly, for you will overtake them. Now she told a lie. This is what they call in the academy situational ethics. She lied for a good reason. Because she understood that what was taking place was bigger than her. Right. And so this woman, who was not an Israelite, decided to become partners and aid and assist the people of God. And I'm going to come back to how God blessed her for that. But then finally there was a provision. There was a promise, there was a partnership, but then there was special provision. Because in Deuteronomy it was established that God was going to bless Israel if they were obedient to him. He said, the Lord will open to you his good treasury, the heavens, to give the rain to your land in its season. God will bless the work of your hands, and you shall lend to many nations and not borrow. The Lord will make you the head and not the tail. You shall go up and not down, if you obey the commandments of the Lord your God that I command you today. So God had all this in place. And he was ready to demonstrate to Joshua's generation that he could be trusted with whatever was coming. And so the question is, what are the signs and signals of trust in our life? How is it that folk that don't know the Lord can look at us and have evidence that we trust God?
Wow. Wow.
Well, first of all, you and I have to do this. We've got to exercise obedience without knowing the outcome. I'm going to say that again.
Go ahead on.
The first way you demonstrate that you trust God is you got to learn to exercise obedience without knowing the outcome. You see, there are situations in our lives where we will not fully know what the outcome will be. Very often, the truth is, we rarely fully know what the outcome of our circumstances will be. Many people drive themselves crazy because they spend their whole lives, watch this, trying to secure outcomes. You manipulate your way in and out of relationships trying to secure an outcome.
Well,
you hook up with somebody you shouldn't hook up with trying to secure a job. Secure a position. Secure a better future. Secure an outcome. You strategize and scheme sometimes behind closed doors to secure an outcome. Not realizing that in the end, God will still do what he chooses. And if you trust him long enough, he'll do it for you too. Anybody ever had God do it for you, but you had to wait and watch him do it for somebody else? Anybody ever had God tell you, wait a minute and let you see somebody else have it done for them? Let me show you I can deliver somebody else over here. And watch me do it for them and trust me and I can do it for you. Thank you, Holy Ghost. That's why when Jesus, he had already been summoned by Jairus to go see to his sick daughter.
Yes, sir.
And the Bible says that he felt somebody grab his garment. There was a woman on her knees in the crowd, and the Bible says that he felt power exit him.
Yes, sir.
Because there was an interruption that was miraculous taking place. Because a woman reached with faith and experienced healing. And so Jairus got upset and worried because he got word that because Jesus took his time to engage and interact with this sick woman, after he had already promised Jairus he would take care of his daughter, and then he got word that his daughter had already died. Jairus was learning that sometimes God will let you stand in suspense so you can witness him working in somebody else's situation, so that when he gets to your situation, you can know what to expect.
Lord, good stuff.
Somebody missed that.
Yeah.
I said, God will let you sometimes delay your deliverance so that you can watch him do it in somebody else's life, so that when he gets to your house, you'll know what to expect.
Good. Good.
Anybody ever witnessed God do it for somebody else? The Bible says you've got to mourn when others mourn, but you've also got to rejoice when others rejoice. And see, that's why some people stay quiet right there. See, some folk can come to funerals and cry, but cannot go to your housewarming and smile. And see, some folk can call and cry and mourn, but can't celebrate when God blesses them.
Deal, man. Deal.
Everybody's ready to cry when somebody passes away. Not many people are ready to smile and congratulate you when you get your degree, when you get your house. Why? Because they might still be in school. They might still be in their apartment. But how many know that if God can do it for them, God can do it for you? And you got to learn how to shout for them before you can shout sometimes for yourself. But in our text, the people of God were fatigued, because the Bible says that they were obedient. They got up early in the morning. The priest took the ark of the Lord. The 7 priests bearing 7 trumpets of ram's horns before the ark of the Lord. They walked on, they blew the trumpets. There were armed men walking before them, and there was a rear guard. They walked after the ark of the Lord. And it said they did this for 6 days.
6 days.
Now they were silent while they were doing it. And on the 7th day, they got up early again and marched around 7 times. Now let's think about this. They marched for an entire week in silence. And you got to understand how many people could be fatigued that God has given us without prematurely jeopardizing our assignment because we can't keep our mouths shut.
Oh my goodness. Oh. Wow.
How many of us have ruined a blessing because we spoke too soon?
Wow.
We got tired and opened our mouths.
Lord have mercy.
When God had not moved yet. You are on day 5, day 4, day 6, even day 7. But how many know you can be on day 7 and still jeopardize what's coming next if you move prematurely? If you allow yourself to be overtaken with fatigue and forget that if God puts you on the path, he'll keep you. So God will at times, watch this, take longer than you and I would like him to. But we have to mature to a place that we embrace and maintain a posture of obedience. Even when we get tired of being faithful to a cause that has not yielded verifiable benefits. There are going to be situations in our lives where we are not verifiable benefits that we can see with our eyes right away. We live in a culture that wants instant gratification. Everything happens in 10 minutes, 10 seconds, 6 weeks, 2 months, 5 days, over the weekend. You go on bachelorette and you get married 2 months later.
Talk.
I want to help you. You get on Instagram and you meet the love of your life. You get married 3 months later. Never met the person, but you're in love.
Talk, man. Talk.
Because we have mistaken the advancement of technology for the enhancement of genuine relationships.
Talk.
I can be connected technologically and be disconnected relationally. I can talk to somebody in Japan right now and not be in proper relationship with you. But they were not only fatigued, church, but we had to understand that you can imagine they might have been frustrated. Can you imagine you've been marching around this city and there's this wall? God has said nothing. Now, go back and read the story. God told only Joshua the details of this operation. Nobody in Israel knew the details except Joshua. So they're looking at a wall and they're marching around for 7 days. And they're going in circles. Israel marched in silence for 7 days, not knowing what the benefits or results would be. Joshua did not declare that God had given them the city until the 7th time on the 7th day. What I read, that was right as the walls were about to cry. So for that whole week, all they knew was the prophet got up early and said, let's go. We're marching around today. And Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, they got up every day. Marched in silence, not knowing what was coming next. Israel had to yield to the sovereign instruction through Joshua of going in circles, even though it made them look silly. Here's the question. How long are you willing to go in circles and look silly? When God hasn't fully revealed everything He's working out in your life. How many Sundays can you faithfully worship God and not forsake His assembly without beginning to question why He hasn't healed your family member? When you watch Him heal somebody else's family member who doesn't even come to church. How many choir rehearsals and ushers meetings and deacon and deaconess meetings can you attend before you begin to wrestle with feeling like God seems disinterested in your concerns and your cries rather than interested in hearing? How many prayer meetings and Bible studies will you come to and participate in before you decide that you are tired of hearing about other people's testimonies because you want God to give you something to testify? How long will you look silly to the world, trusting in God to make your ends meet on a limited budget? How long will you look silly believing that God will elevate your career when others have been trained by you and promoted ahead of you? How long are you willing to look silly trusting God to mend the fractures in your brokenness in your marriage or your family? How long will you look silly believing that God can restore your relationships in your family and your marriage after it's been broken by repeat offenses? How long will you deal with burdens and pressure and pain in the delicate places of your heart before you just decide to say, Lord, I've had enough? How long can you go in circles without giving up? They went in circles 7 days in silence. And never once did the Bible say they stopped or they complained. Here's the assurance you and I need. You and I can go in circles as long as God demands, because you and I understand this. God's sovereignty over our situation will overshadow the silliness of our circumstances. I'm going to say that again. God's sovereignty over the situation,
Yes, sir.
will overshadow how silly you think you look in your circumstances. Because the truth is, giving looks silly when you're still broke. See, we act like we have never been there. See, some of us have not always had St. John's to put on. God has brought many of us from a long way. And it looks silly to the world and to some folk in church that you tithe even though you're struggling still.
Wow.
Serving looks silly when people mistreat you, despite how kind you are. You feel downright silly when you do that. Prayer sounds silly when God has still not moved, and you've been praying for weeks and months and even years. You begin to feel like you just look ridiculous. We're trusting in a God that takes His time. But hang in there. I said hang in there. I'm almost done. Hang in there. Because the Bible says that God will not be mocked. He might move slower than you and I prefer, but He will move, and everybody around you will know that God is moving. Somebody here knows that He may not come when you want Him, but He'll always show up all the time. Somebody here knows He may not come when you want Him, but you'll want Him when He comes. God will make sure that you give Him credit for the miracle He orchestrates in your circumstance. Because see, someone here has had to learn that God knows some of us won't act right. God knows that some of us brothers will take credit for what He deserves credit for if He lets us get out of it too quickly. Some of us will take credit and say it was our degree, and it was who we knew, and it was our credentials, and it was our sophistication, and it was how we dressed, and it was how we looked. It was our reputation that got us off. But God will let you sometimes sit and simmer like that gumbo you like to eat. And He'll let you simmer in the crucible of your circumstance. Just so that when you're about ready to give up, He'll lift you out. Just so you know it was nobody but the Lord who brought you out. And I wonder if anybody that doesn't mind taking 5 seconds to thank God that it was nobody.
Nobody
but the Lord that brought you out. I said you can thank God and just think back and remember what He did for you last year. Somebody ought to think back and remember what He did last month. Matter of fact, think about what He did last week. Matter of fact, think about what He did yesterday. And if you're not careful, think about what He did this morning. When He woke you up in your right mind. You got out of bed and you can put your right foot down and your left foot down. And you can celebrate that if it had not been for the Lord on your side.
Stay right there, man.
That's why you got to trust and obey. You can help me, for there's no other way to be happy in Jesus than to trust and obey. You got to learn how to exercise obedience without necessarily knowing how it's going to.
That's right.
Yes, sir. But as I hurry to a close, not only must we exercise obedience, and sometimes go in circles, not knowing when God is going to move, but trusting that He can handle the outcome, so that what you and I think is silly, you found out it was solid.
Yes.
But secondly and finally, we have to recognize the power of God's reliability.
Yes, sir.
Recognize that God is reliable. you got to understand that there's power in relying on God. Because we must first consider that there are some voices in this story we must hear. Because we hear the voices that rendered anticipatory praise. If you look at verse 16, it said, it was only on that day that they marched around the city 7 times. And at that 7th time, when the priests had blown the trumpets, in this verse, Joshua said, shout before the walls fall. The walls had not fallen and would not fall until they shouted. I'm going to say that again. Somebody's going to catch it. The walls sometimes will not fall in your life.
I see it.
Until you're willing to shout ahead of time. See, sometimes you have to shout in anticipation of what God has promised He would do. Because your shout, your amen, your hallelujah, your thank you Jesus is an expression of trust and expectation. God wants to know that you trust Him enough that you can celebrate before He ever delivers. Somebody knows that every now and then you have to be willing to sing your song of victory before you actually get the victory. Anybody ever started singing before God gave you the victory? Anybody ever been on your way somewhere and you had to trust God that He was going to work it out by the time you got there? Anybody ever not had enough money in your pocket when you left home and you found out that when you got home that evening you had enough to put food on your table? Anybody ever had to go somewhere and not know how it was going to work, but you had to trust?
Yes, sir.
And shout on your way there that the Lord is able to do exceedingly and abundantly more than you and I could ever think or imagine. That's anticipatory praise.
Yes, sir.
That's thanking God ahead of time. And some walls in your life won't fall until you can give God a shout
Ahead of time.
in anticipation of them falling. You got to thank God that He will deliver you out of your situation. He will keep your child safe when they're out of your presence. He will restore your marriage. He will bring your family back together. He will work it out. And you got to say hallelujah ahead of time. But as I heard, we also have to look at, and we move to a close, the vessels in the story. Because in order to understand how much power God has in His reliability, not only must we understand that you have to have a voice of praise ahead of time, but let's look at the vessels in the story. Because while the voice was given expression of their anticipation of what God was going to do, the vessels were used to announce the presence of the Lord. Here it is. Victory was possible as long as God was present. I'm going to say that again. Victory was possible as long as God was present. Victory is still possible as long as God shows up. Victory is not possible if God doesn't show up. What does it have to do with anything? You see, triumph was achievable as long as God offered His presence. The assurance of their success in the looming conflict with the native people groups on the other side of that wall, and for the wall itself that stood before them, their success to get in was tied to whether or not God showed up. They could march all they wanted. They could march for a whole year. But unless God was with them to take them in, they weren't going in. And so believers must understand that whatever the perceived advantages are that we assume we have with our credentials and our connections and our qualifications, all of that means nothing apart from the presence of God in our situation. Our victory is predicated upon how much we value the awesome presence of the Lord. And that's why when you look at these vessels, Israel understood that their strength and success hinged upon the urgency with which they affirmed the Lord's presence in their situation. So you look at these vessels, we see protected vessels, because the Bible says that the armed men were walking before them, and the rear guard was walking after the ark of the Lord. These men had weapons being used that could be used to protect the Ark of the Covenant. Why? The Ark of the Covenant, also known as the Ark of Testimony, was a gold-covered wooden chest described in Exodus containing the tablets of the Ten Commandments. And it was representative of the very presence of God.
Yeah, that's right.
And so it had to be protected at all times. Not because God needed protection, and not because he was restricted to this wooden chest, but it was done out of reverence for his presence. And how many times do you see folk walk and live irreverent of the Lord's presence?
Yes, sir.
And not value his presence. So these men were there to remind everybody nothing can happen to the ark, because this represents God's presence among us. He's not restricted to this box, but this is my expression of reverence to an almighty God. But then they also had powerful vessels, because the Bible says there were trumpets of ram's horns in the hands of the priests. And so these trumpets of ram's horns were symbolic and emblematic of God's strength, authority, and power. The seven priests bearing the seven trumpets of ram's horns, they walked before the ark and they blew the trumpets continually. Nobody was talking, but the priests were playing. And so you had protected vessels, you had powerful vessels, but then you had prohibited vessels. Because there were some things the Bible said that had to be kept off limits. God kept some things off limits to ensure that Israel's faith did not become distracted by a lust for the material and forget the importance of the spiritual. The Bible says in verse 18, keep yourselves from the things devoted to destruction, lest when you have devoted them, you take any of these devoted things and make the camp of Israel a thing for destruction and bring trouble upon it. The whole situation was centered around their understanding that they needed God's presence. And so I close with this. Victory was possible as long as they valued God's presence. I said victory was possible as long as they understood they had to have God's presence. If God is for us, who can be against us? The psalmist David said, the Lord is my light and my salvation. Whom shall I fear? He's a stronghold of my life. Of whom shall I be afraid? So God has to be present, and you and I can accomplish anything. But one final observation reveals that God's power is reliable, and his promises are worthy of holding on to. Because it's not just important that Israel got in, because you do understand they got in, don't you? You do understand that after they shouted, the Bible said the walls fell. Anybody ever seen the walls fall in your situation? Anybody ever had God let the walls fall and you were allowed to walk right over what was keeping you back? But I don't want to end on the fact that the walls fell and that Israel got in. Because when you look closely at the story, it's not just important that Israel got in, but it's also important who got out. Walk with me, I'm almost done. The first shout is that Israel was not supposed to get in, and they got in. Because sometimes God will open a door that no man can close. But the second shout for the night is that somebody made it out that wasn't supposed to make it out. You remember I said earlier there was a woman whose residence became shelter for the Israelites' spies. And who were making observation of the promised land, and they were being pursued by Jericho's men. And because of her recognition of God's power in the lives of Israel, she hid the Israelite spies. Well, a woman whose life was in total contradiction to God's standards of righteousness had the good sense to recognize God's power. And she witnessed it, and consequently the same power she saw being displayed in the lives of Israel was the very power that God would put on display in her life. Her name was Rahab. Because the Bible says Rahab the prostitute and all who were with her in her house shall live, because she hid the messengers whom we sent. You see, Rahab lived at the edge of time. Because of her lifestyle, she could live in time. She had lived on the edge of Jericho. So she lived at the boundary line. She lived near what some call the city gate. And all of this points to the fact that Rahab's residence was in close proximity to the wall. Rahab lived at the edge of town where the walls were, which put her in grave danger. But she had been promised that she was going to be brought out, even though she lived right next to the wall. I'm done, but I'm closing with this. Scholars debate whether or not the wall fell flat, or it collapsed and crumbled in pieces all at one time, or fell in different sections at different times. I'm not here to debate what the scholars debated. What I'm here to say is, what matters for us is, regardless of how the wall fell, Rahab and everybody in her house got out safe. I thought I would have at least two folks that could shout on it. I said, Rahab the prostitute that lived on the edge of time. The Bible says that despite how close she lived to the wall, she got out safe. She got out with no scars, no bruises, no cuts, no damage done to anybody in her house. Her house might not have survived, but she survived. And I wonder if there's anybody here who can shout that God will not only get you in at where you can't get in, but He'll bring you out where you should not make it out. I said, God will get you in out of some stuff that you walk right into, that God delivered you out of some potholes that you stepped right into, that God brought you out of situations that you didn't deserve to make it out of. I don't know about you, but there's somebody else that walked out of a place that they had no business walking out of. Somebody knows where I'm going. Yeah. Because Jesus died on Friday. And the Bible said they buried Him and covered the tomb with a stone. Yeah. And He stayed in there all night Friday. Stayed there all day Saturday. Stayed there all night Saturday night. But somebody knows early Sunday morning, Jesus walked out of what He should have been trapped in. I said, Jesus walked out of what He should have been confined in. And because He walked out, you and I can get out. Because He got up, you and I can raise up. Because He lives, you and I can live. Because He was victorious, you and I have victory. Anybody want to give God a hallelujah? I said, give Him a hallelujah. Give Him a hallelujah. Because He's worthy. I said He's worthy. He's worthy of all your praise. You got to trust Him despite what you don't know. Learn how to trust Him with whatever happens next year.